NyKil Rashad. I am a native to Griffin, Georgia. I am related to the Watkins, the Williams, the Daniels, the Goodmans, the Kings, practically the whole city. Born and raised down here, Day Street, South Side is where I kind of was born at. I was raised up on the east side, but I've lived all over the city, everywhere except the north side and the west side. This beautiful young lady, Dr. Yashana Jones, we're actually classmates from Griffin High School. But I'm just here today to really just speak my opinion. I'm no scholar, I'm no professor, I'm just a person with an opinion. So the first thing I'd like to talk about is, when I first made it here, you guys were speaking on courtship, how that works for first offenders and blah, blah, et cetera. Well, I work for Clayton County courthouse some odd years back, and I worked there for nearly 2 years. And everything that I learned about that situation, I went and I reported it because I come from the urban parts of my community. So the reason why we find ourselves in the situation that we're in is because we're ignorant to the law. The reason why we find ourselves in the situation that we're in is because we're taught to feel inferior, and we're supposed to believe that they are superior. The truth of the matter is, they're more afraid than you know. And so that's why they work so hard to keep you beneath them, because they don't ever want you to discover your truth and who you truly are. They think because of how they treated us and what they did to us that we won't pay back and we won't get back. That ain't necessarily what the case is. The only thing that we want is to be left alone, give us our space, give us the opportunity and give us room to grow, and let us figure these things out for our own, and we'll do well. We know that this is possible, because if you know anything about your history and your origin, then you know that long before you were slaves, you were kings and queens, and we considered ourselves gods and goddesses. That's just the truth. So fast forward, when you go and look at Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma, that took place in the 1930s, 1940s, and Tulsa, Oklahoma wasn't the only place. We had Queens, New York, we had Oakland, California, Atlanta, Georgia. If you know anything about the city, we've been more rich here and more wealthy here longer than any other parts of the United States. And I'm talking about like post-slavery, during slavery and everything. The natives here have been rich for a very long time. I'm talking about Black America. We've been rich for a very long time. The reason why they target us is because we are the last Mecca in this nation. They've already gentrified Oakland, California. They've already gentrified Queens, New York. And so the only thing that you truly have right now is Atlanta, Georgia. This is the Black hub. This is the Black Mecca. That's the reason why they coming down on us and they placing all these stigmas on. So let me go ahead and say this. A couple of things you need to know as far as how the court works based on my experience. One, they expect for you not to know the law. So what should you do? Is what the Black Panther Party tried to teach us back then. Study the law, learn the law. And just as we're doing right now, we're educating each other. The reason why I can appreciate gatherings like these is because you get to learn. It's kind of like going to a private school. You got a smaller setting, so therefore, you know, each teacher or the teacher can take more time with the student. So I like small room. I like small classroom settings like these. You get more out of it. Ideally, you expect to see a bunch of people, but that's dangerous. What's dangerous about that is we don't understand multitude and we don't understand numbers. So because of that, we bring all sorts of energy. A lot of time we show up and we don't show up with the intention of learning. We just show up just to say we came. But what I noticed about this classroom setting right here is everybody came here with questions. That's dope to me and that's deep. So whenever you're going before the courthouse, let me get into what I want to say. One, you have to go in there with your posture. That's the first thing they look at. For nearly 2 years straight, I sat in each courtroom. I know about Judge Cowan, Judge Carbo. I know Judge Benefield. I know the judges. The first thing they look at is your posture. Anytime you sit inside of that courthouse or that courtroom, they're reading your energy. They're reading your demeanor. If you're certain about your position, then your poise should show that. You got to keep your head up. And when you're speaking, you got to speak up. But a lot of times we go in there with our head low, and we go in there and our energy is low and it's sunken. And they see that. So they've already judged you before you even get your testimony. They're just going through due process. So the way you carry yourself is how they'll receive you. Another thing is, everything that you learn, you're supposed to take back to your community. That's the one thing that we don't do. We find ourselves too embarrassed about our situation, but you got to know that the person next to you can identify with you in more ways than one. Because even if I ain't went through it, I know somebody that done been through it, and vice versa. But we judge each other entirely too much. We like to put on for each other, not realizing that 3% control 97% of the population in the world. So what they do is they put us against each other. So we might dress up, or we might look like we got it together. But the truth is, when we leave here, we're gonna go back to the same problems. What's important to me is knowing that if you here and you came to learn, don't just be here, just say that you was here. Don't just be a body in the room, but actually take that information and take it back to your community. Most importantly, start teaching it to your children, your grandchildren, your nieces, and your nephews. Because the future, the children being the future, I think we say it, but we don't really mean it when we say it. But I spend time with mine. And each time I spend time with mine, especially my daughter, I can see that. I can see that all she wants to know is just know. All she wants to know is just what I have to tell her, so that she can go forward and take it that further. And that's what I love about being here. Ms. Brown, I always shout you out, and I appreciate you because I remember you as a kid. Why Rick ain't never here? Where Rick at?
Rick lives in Ellenwood and he has his family.
Rick, I'm gonna shout you out again on camera. And my second time shout you out, bro. You understand what I'm saying? But we went to school together.
Right.
So I come from this community. But anytime you show up in front of these people that are looking to oppress you, look like you got it together. Start educating yourself on the law. Everything that you learn, take it back. Don't be afraid to ask questions, because the only ignorant question is the person that decided not to ask the question at all. Know that. So concern yourself. We live in an age of information. So I always tell people all the time, your belief don't make it certain. So with that being said, you got access to all types of information. So all you gotta do is just educate yourself. We walking around here with these pocket-sized computers, we call them smartphones. But as you can see what we did earlier, what's a judicial system? Google. Oh, okay, I just learned something new that I wouldn't otherwise learn. Shout out to Centel, what's up? he looking like the principal right now, so I gotta tell him. He looking like the principal right now. But you know what I'm saying? But use it to your advantage. And shout out to sisters like Yoshana Jones. Because it's people like you that actually care enough to give your time, your energy, and your effort.
That's right.
Because you ain't got to be here.
That's true.
You can be with your daughter and taking care of your family, doing everything you need to do. You ain't got to be here. But you here.
That's right.
And everything that everybody has shared today, I learned something new because I'm good in my field. And that's just speaking from the heart. But when you talk politics, I'm not really into that. But I'm hearing you. And I was just talking to my cousin shortly. And we got our own views on it. So with that being said, you know how I feel about it. But I can honestly tell you that sitting in this classroom today, it kind of shake my views a little bit. Because I don't buy into politics for real. But when I hear Centel drop the percentages, and then you know, you speaking about courtship or whatnot, and it's a quick Google search, when you go and look and you see that 97% of federal cases get pleaded out, 94% of state affairs get pleaded out. You understand? What a sister, she already gone, Kayla. She already gone. So her testimony was they tried to drag something on for like 3-4 years. And then she realized as time went, the case was weak. And even though she knew that she was guilty in her stance, she caught on to it. They didn't have enough money to fund the case, so eventually she won over the case. With that being said, the reason why they press us to plead out, a lot of time they really don't have no cases. They just want you to get it over with. A lot of the time you find yourself pleading guilty to something that you probably ain't really guilty of. Like you said earlier, you find yourself signing paperwork that you don't really understand. Like you said earlier, we find ourselves just wanting to get through it, so we just signing our lives away because we ain't got the patience. So everything that we took from here now, let's take that back out there into the real world. Because they don't know. They're not here. So even when we leave here, we still got to go and educate them that we are amongst, or they're amongst us. So I just wanted to say that. I ain't too deep. I just want to let y'all know that I appreciate y'all for being here, and I appreciate for being here, and that's it. Love.